What's up, Facebook? How is everybody doing? I hope everybody's doing well tonight. This is going to be an amazing series. Thursday night with pineapple out here. As you see, we're using a purple theme on this week, man. It's been an amazing week. It's been productive. Oh man, I can't wait for this night. Is going to be something special. We're going to be dropping some gems. But those of you who do not know who I am the CIO of it used to be called Right Brand Clothing, known as the Royal Blossom Company now. And I am an entrepreneur that lives out here in Tampa, Florida. And I'm gonna turn my music down a little bit. I say in Tampa, Florida. Graduated from Bethune-Cookman University in 2012, and I have a bachelor's degree in business administration, also minor in marketing. Also, I am a current artist, fine artist, so I do a little bit of everything. So I do painting, I do drawing, I do illustration, gesture drawing, anything that has anything to do with the fine arts. I'm pretty good at it. So I just wanted to let you know who I am, and this is going to be something of a special series that we're going to be doing every week going forward. And I'm going to go ahead and invite some people to come on to this live. Give me 1 second, because we about to drop some important gems tonight, opposed to fashion and massage. You probably figuring out, how does this apply fashion and massage? How does this apply to me? It has a lot to do. Fashion applies to almost every industry. The thing is, you got to understand what it applies to in what context. And it's about to be some amazing stuff on this thing. So yeah, I'm just inviting some people on. Give me 1 second. Inviting some people on. We about to crush this thing. Yeah, so I'm just inviting some people, giving some people some couple of minutes to tune in. So I got an amazing interview that we're about to do with this special guest. I just want my followers to know who she is. I want to bring her on. Before I bring her on, I want to let you know there's a lot of things that, Right Brand Clothing has been working on / the Royal Blossom Company. We've been working on so many different things behind the scenes. Okay, this weekend we have the Black Business Bus Tour. Okay, that's going to be from 12 to 3 at 2924 East Comanche Avenue, Tampa, Florida, 33610. Okay, we're going to be out there from 12 to 3. Okay, 12 to 3. That's where we're going to be, 12 to 3. So the Black Business Bus Tour. So we also got some new headwear. We're about to start a pre-order process for the hats and dad hats. Not hats, tank tops. There's a lot of different things that's about to go into production. So also our website has been completely rebranded. So go to the www.royalblossomcommunity.co, or you can use the old website rightbrandclothing.com, and you can go to that, either one of those links, to where you can go to where you need to go to as far as getting to the website or whatever. And it's going to be some things. So I'm going to go ahead and bring Miss Addison on. So I'm going to go ahead and invite her on to the camera now. Let me see. Hey, Miss Tawni.
Hello, and it's Miss Tawni.
Tawni, I'm sorry. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm amazing. How are you doing this evening?
I'm doing good. Just getting some last minute little work done. That's it.
That's good. That's good. Listen, I'm so excited that you're on this live this Thursday evening. I appreciate you taking the time to come out and talk to everybody on my page. And I want people to get to know who you are, and I want to ask you a couple of questions about your vision and your passion, and what made you get into your business and your endeavors that you've been blessing the community with.
Okay.
So can you tell us a little bit about yourself, where you're from, and a few things that you do out here in the community?
First off, my name is Tawni Addison. I was born in San Diego, California, raised in Tampa, Florida. Um, some things I do in the community, I try to do as many health fairs that I can, or even events where we can do chair massage. That way I can offer that. Several different events I've participated in the past year. I've done chair massage at those events, as well as just massaging my regular clients.
Okay, okay. How long have you been in massage therapy?
Licensed, I have been a massage therapist since 2008. Um,
2008.
yes, October 24th, 2008. Unlicensed, I've been doing this since I was a teenager.
Teenager.
So it's been a long time.
Okay, okay. Hey, that's good. That is good. I'm glad that you are out here servicing the people, because people backs be on fire, and we need you out here helping people out and blessing people. So I want to ask you another question. What is your passion? What are you passionate about massage therapy? What made you get into massage therapy?
Well, it's not so much as it is a passion, but it's a passion, then it's not a passion.
Okay.
And I say that because massage, as with anybody who finds their calling, it's a divine calling for me. It's something that I know I had no formal training in before I got into it. It's just something that I did. I was good at doing it. Um, and I remember as a kid being in church with my grandparents, and the pastor would say, if you don't use your spiritual gifts and talents, you'll lose them. And that's something that never escaped me, even as a little kid. So as I got older, I knew that this was a gift and I had to use it in some sort of way. And it took me a long time to get to where I am using it now, but I'm here.
Yes.
So I'm very passionate about just mostly because I played sports, and a lot of athletes that look like me don't get therapy and things like that. So I decided to not just work on athletes, but work on the regular people too. But uh, major league, sports is like my passion to work with people.
Okay. That's some good stuff. I'm just taking notes and everything too. So my next question is, what made you decide to heal people with your hands? Because with massage, I feel like it's also a healing process when you're getting into people's muscles, relieving them from stress and strenuous activities. What makes you want to service people like this?
Well, again, like I said, it's a divine healing. So God uses me to facilitate healing to other people. And we have to understand too, healing is done using a lot of energy. So I use a lot of my own energy each and every day to help facilitate healing to people. Um, I can do my job with my eyes closed and know exactly what I'm doing. So it's just when I see people that are in pain, or and I can honestly say every person walking around is a potential client for massage therapy, because we all have some type of deviations in our spine, in our bone structure, a lot of, muscle wise, that needs attention from adults down to children.
Down to children. Okay, that's good. That's good. Now I see you on your social media that you post a lot of. health and wellness on your profile. You post a lot of different um, quotes and also post a lot of memes that are very informational. So,
Mhm.
what made you decide to post tips on your social media, like things that'll help people in their everyday lives? What makes you want to do that on a day-to-day basis around the clock?
Well, the thing that pushed me into doing that is I was diagnosed in 2016 with fibroids, and I did not know that. I figured it was just menopause because I was coming up on 50, and I'm going through menopause at the time. And so there was a lot of, and I don't mean to be too descriptive, but for the women that are out here and that may be suffering, they'll know exactly what I'm talking about. There was a lot of excessive bleeding and things like that. And that did not send me to the emergency room. What sent me to the emergency room was a prolonged cough that I had. And when I got there and they drew blood, that's when they figured out what was actually going on. So I was very close to dying and didn't know it. And once I found that out, because uh, I just knew that when I found it out, and then I was told I had to have a hysterectomy. And I said, is there any other way that I can avoid the hysterectomy? I don't want to have a surgery. There has to be something natural that can help me or some other alternative. And all of the doctors told me no. It was a surgeon that all he was adamant about cutting me, and I was adamant about not being cut. So that's when my aunt Claudia, she has since passed away. But my aunt Claudia stepped in, and she, I asked her. She told me about a supplement called Yarrow to take. And once I started taking that and it regulated my cycles, it was like my body was brand new and I had to have a blood transfusion. So from there, it started teaching me that a lot of us, no matter what your race is, matter what your ethnic background is, how much money you make, a lot of us are not privy to other alternative choices about our medical conditions. Because a lot of these doctors out here, and it's sad to say, they're in it for the money. They're in it. A surgery costs more than helping someone cure themselves. Medication, it makes them more money than the cure. So I just started posting, what happened to me. I post just, first, and other women start gravitating towards it. And then I just start posting. I would post tips prior to that whole incident, but not on a regular basis. I would just do it here and there. But now I post tips 5 days a week, Monday through Friday, random stuff. And it's not just about massage. It's about a wide variety of things to help us to take care of our bodies, because we only get one and we have to take care of it. And, a lot of people, we adorn our bodies with everything on the outside. The hairstyles, the clothing, the jewelry, everything. We adorn on the outside, but what do we do to take care of the inside? And a lot of people aren't taking care of the inside. You can have all the money in the world, and if your health is poor, you are poor, because now you're spending all your money for meds and health care and things like that.
Okay. That's a good point, because a lot of people when they go to the doctor, right? And it's specifically in our community, a lot of people don't typically question the doctors. They just go what the doctor says because they
Exactly.
have a PhD, they went to school for 20 years, and they don't really ask no questions. So they feel like they'll come off as offensive to ask the doctor a lot of different questions.
Right.
But it's a part of your insurance plan to ask them a lot of questions, to be diligent about what you say, and also understand your body and what you need. And especially in this time in 2024, where you can just search everything on the internet. You can go get a second and third opinion. They have books at Barnes and Noble, Amazon.
Hmm.
It's not like it's like the 80s or the 90s where people ain't they had to go to like encyclopedia or anything. So it's easy. There's a lot of different tools that are
Right.
accessible to the community, but a lot of people are negligent because they just lazy. They don't want to do what they want to do.
Well,
So it is what it is.
and I wouldn't say it's so much as lazy. I would say it's more so is that when we don't know, we don't know.
Gotcha.
So if you don't know to, you know, small town people, all they do is they go to the doctor. They may not know to ask the questions or, you know, so if they don't know, they're not going to ask. But me personally, I ask questions. Anybody that knows me can tell you I ask questions and a lot of them. And so for me, that was a thing that I did. I asked plenty of questions. And like I said, the doctor tried to shoot down, the surgeon tried to shoot down every question I asked him with, oh, you need a hysterectomy. And it's like, no, you're not cutting on me. And because this is something that is treatable and it can be reversed, and we have to look to what God gave us, which is plant medicine. Plants, fruits and vegetables, other plants, those are our medicines. So we have to look to those things for health and wellness.
Okay. That sounds good. Now, let me ask you another question about the fibroids. And this is a side note.
Hmm.
Now, what a lot of people a lot of women in our community are diagnosed with fibroids for different reasons. It could be from the hair products, it can be from the skin products, it can be
Hmm.
from their diet. Now, with your specific situation, how do you think that you caught fibroids?
Well, you don't catch them. That's the first thing. Fibroids are blood clots, tumorous clots that they're like tumors inside the uterus. So you don't catch them; they're there. And most women have them, but it just depends. They may be really small and don't bother them. Then you can have some that are softball size, and they would, that would really, bother a person. But the thing is I believe it's a combination of a lot of things. Um, I say more so diet than anything else. And the reason I say that is because eating red, I have cut down on eating red meat. I had some red meat today, but it's been a while since, But eating red meat helps feed the fibroids. Any type of blood, you know, any type of food source with blood in it helps feed fibroids.
Mm,
So, and when a woman is on her menstrual cycle, that blood there feeds the fibroids, and they continue to grow. So a lot of it is your diet. I noticed when I did have them, when I cut back on red meat, the the bleeding subsided.
oh wow.
If I start eating red meat again, it'll come back. And that was prior to me even taking the supplement that I took. So, and I would do that 30 days, no red meat, just to see what my body does. And then I would start back eating red meat, and I'm right back in that same cycle. So I just kind of cut back altogether so that I can start the process of healing myself.
Wow.
And we
That's
just have to be smart about doing that. We have to be diligent about doing that. Us women, we really have to be diligent about doing that, and we really have to be diligent about questioning our health and questioning whether when a doctor says, "Oh, I want to do a surgery." To me, surgery should be a very last resort. You need to
yep.
exhaust all options before you have a surgery. And a lot of times, in my case, all options were not exhausted because there was a less evasive procedure that could have been done, but I was not offered that.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
And
Yes.
that turns into a whole nother conversation, because then you talk about health disparities. You know, when you treating black patients versus treating white patients. And I don't mean to make it a race thing, but it is what it is.
It's the truth, though. It's the truth. I mean, because
Mhm.
that conversation will start a whole nother
Exactly.
conversation. We
That's
can get
a whole
started.
other can of worms, and you could be hours talking about that, but it's true. When one group of people don't get the necessary care and another group of people do, there's a problem. Everybody should be getting the same type of health care. There should be no disparities at all.
That's true. I definitely agree with that. I definitely agree with that. That's it's unfortunate that we live in a climate where that closed racism still exists, especially in the hospital amongst black people, black women too,
Mhm.
specifically when they're giving birth. The mortality rate is high. I mean, that is it's unreal. Like the
I mean,
stuff
if
that
you look at it has nothing to do with your money either,
nope.
because you have world class athletes that have gone through this kind of thing and not being given that proper care, and they have to insist and insist and insist until they get it done. And it should never be like that. In my opinion, and my opinion is small out here in this world, but I'm pretty sure it's a lot of people on here on this live that probably have some kind of communication and contact with doctors. But in my opinion, doctors should, one, listen to your patients, two, explore any and every option to help your patients heal. We should not be doling out medicine the way we do, prescription meds, because it's not a cure. It's a band-aid. That's all it is a band-aid. It's not a cure. When what you told me Saturday, when I worked on you Saturday, if it was a cure, you wouldn't need a refill.
Refill. No, no,
No
ma'am. Because
refill.
all it does is treat the symptoms of it. It doesn't really
Exactly.
cure it. It
Exactly.
just continues to
Exactly.
prolong it. And then I'm like, when it's funny when I lay it on the table, it was a commercial that came across your TV. It was
Yeah,
I don't
it
know
was
what's the name of
one
the
of those
medication.
medication commercials. I remember that.
Yeah, because it was funny because they talk about the side effects and then they try to speed it up
Right.
like 1.5 and then it's like a list, it's like a paragraph of side effects and people and they willfully said it. But here's the comment that I love what you said. People willfully bought it.
Yeah, they willfully bought it, and they knew what the side of you heard what the side effects are, but they willfully will buy it, not knowing every other thing that this medicine is going to do to them.
It's
So
crazy.
I'm not against doctors, but I am for myself, and I can only speak for me. I'm for myself and my health care.
Yeah, I agree. I agree because you know your medicine cabinet is in your pantry and is in your refrigerator.
Exactly.
It's in your refrigerator, and most people don't realize that's where the first signs of medicine starts. It starts there, then it also starts in nature, and it's not about pills. At the end of the day, when people say certain things like, "Well, I can't afford to eat this salad that's $5," or well, not $5, $20, but they'll go to McDonald's or they'll go to Wendy's or they'll go to any fast food place and pay uh, $1 or $2 from the value menu, not knowing that's processed chemicals, processed foods because of the price that I can't afford, but you can't afford not to do it because you got a medical bill. Because you think about it, if you go to the emergency room by default, that's already $2,000 if you go to the emergency room, not include anything else that happens to you. So
Right.
which bill do you want to pay? There's two bills, one for your health and one for that.
You
Either
know,
way, you're going to pay.
exactly. And that's the thing I pose to people who tell me, oh, when they ask me, well, how much do you charge for a massage? And I tell them, and they, oh, that's expensive. And I said, it's more expensive if you have to get prescriptions. Let's say you got to get 3 prescriptions. And these days, they're giving out, you either getting generic or brand. So let's go with brand name prescriptions. A brand name prescription can cost you probably about a $50 copay.
Yep.
Easily. I used to work in the health insurance industry, so I know this. So that's 3 prescriptions at $50 a pop. You already spent the $150. You could have got 2 massages for that much. You know what I'm saying? So you look at it that way. Are you willing to spend out that kind of money to invest in medication, or are you willing to spend that kind of money to invest in your health? Because massage therapy is just not working with the muscles. Massage therapy affects every body system that we have, every body system. And so if you get one body system under control, the others, and this is not just through massage, but through any of the alternative medicines that are out there, acupuncture, chiropractic, anything like that. If you get that under control in one aspect, the whole body can heal itself. God has designed our bodies to heal itself. But man takes it upon himself or herself to introduce medicine to the body, prescription medicine, not natural medicine. And when you introduce foreign things to the body does not heal from foreign stuff. And
Yeah.
I'm not a doctor. I'm going to tell you, by no means, anybody on this live, and I see one of my nieces is on the live. I'm not a doctor, but I tell you this, I got common sense enough to read. I got common sense enough to comprehend what I'm reading, and I have common sense enough to ask questions as needed.
Yeah, that's a good point. That's a good point. So there's 2 questions that I wanted to ask before when you started talking about nutrition. I'm gonna
Mhm.
circle back around to those
Okay.
questions, but this question ties into the point that you just made. How does a nutrition affect your clients when they come to see you?
Oh man, nutrition can affect you in a number of ways. One, the most important thing, the most important substance to consume is water.
Okay.
If you're not consuming water, your body is dehydrated, and dehydration starts the process of breaking down the body, and just a lot of things start happening. Your muscles are rigid and tight. Um, for in my opinion, and like I said, I'm not a doctor, but if your brain is not getting adequate water, then the brain cells are dying. So if the brain cells are dying, what would you call that? Just off the
That's
top of your head.
that's Alzheimer's or dementia. That's what it sounds like to me.
Exactly. So we need water. Our bodies are 70% water. We need water to function properly every day. We have 2 systems that need water the most. That's your kidneys, your filtration system, the kidneys and the liver. The kidneys filter out all of the stuff through water. I mean through your the urination, sweat, that kind of thing. The liver helps with the digestive system. So in order for your food to digest properly, you need water in your system. You can't digest food with no water, because if you're trying to, you'll be constipated.
Oh wow! You just taught me something new. I didn't know that. I didn't know the water aids with your digestion. I know it flushes out your kidneys and flushes out your system, but I didn't know it aids the liver and the stomach with this food digestion. So that's one of the underlying conditions of constipation. Let's see. I learned
Yeah.
something new from you. Okay.
Constipation can also come from a lack of fiber in the diet.
Okay.
So if you're not getting enough fiber in your diet, constipation can come from a number of things, but it's just important that we drink enough water. We were talking Saturday and talking about sodas, and I know
Oh,
you have that as a question, but I just want to address it now, because most people think, well, if I'm consuming a liquid, that's hydrating. No, it's not. Hydration is from water. Hydration is not from Gatorade, it's not from Powerade, it's not from any of those aids out there, because most of that stuff has a lot of salt and a lot of sugar. Salt dehydrates the body and sugar inflames the body. So if you got a combination of that going on, and I talk to my athletes a lot about this. If you got a combination, you're drinking Gatorades, Powerades, things like that, and you got that combo going on, you are really doing a lot of damage to your body. And on the long term, it's going to be real serious. So it's best to hydrate yourself with water. We can have green tea and things like that, but try not to consume a lot of sugars because it's inflammatory. It's an inflammatory.
Okay, that brings me to that question about the sodas, and it's funny that you brought it up, and because I understand, when you worked on me, you was just letting me know, just drink plenty of water, get you some rest, drink before and after, drink after you take a shower, drink or like a 20 ounce before you go to bed as well. It brings me to my point about the soda, because you taught me something on Saturday. I want you to talk to the audience about this. I know you talked about the sugar, about the dehydration. Can you tell the audience about the carbonation and acid in the soda? What does it do to the body?
So the sodas have, and I like soda. Don't get me wrong. My choice of sodas are ginger ale and orange. I drink a Coke every now and then, but to me, I haven't drank Coke like that in so long. It's too sweet. I might have a couple sips and that's it. But when you're drinking dark color sodas, colas, those colas can do a lot of damage to your stomach, especially when you don't eat. So let's say you drink a Coke or a Pepsi on an empty stomach. You have gastric juices that are in your stomach. Gastric juices, along with that acidic soda, is a recipe for disaster in your system. And so what it does is, and I was taught this by my dad, I use Coca-Cola to clean my battery terminals.
Wow.
Yes. And then all you got to do is when you unscrew that terminal off, pull the terminal off, dip it in some Coke, and watch it come clean. Now, if it can clean that, imagine what it's doing to your stomach. So we have to, understand, and that carbonation is gas. Carbonated beverages, those are gases in there. That stuff is in the muscles, and it makes your muscles hard. I've worked on plenty of people. I asked them, the one thing I ask all my clients, and you can attest to this, how much water do you drink? I have people that tell me, oh, I drink a glass or two a day. Do you consume anything else? They drink Pepsis, they drink Coke, they drink, all kind of other stuff and a bunch of coffee, but little to no water. So now your body is dehydrated, you're inflamed, your muscles are hard, and it's hard for you to get around and move around. When your body is stiff and rigid like that, most people are not in a happy state. They're in a sad state because they're hurting all the time.
That makes
So
sense. That makes sense.
in
Okay.
order to get out
So
of
when
that state, you have to drink water. I recommend to my clients, because I'm gonna be honest with you, and I always say this in our book club meetings. I can be very radically open and transparent. There was a time I really didn't like water. I didn't. But once I went to massage therapy school and I learned why we need water, I started incorporating it into my diet, and now I drink it. I drink my water with lemon. I can make water with cucumbers and mint and all kind of stuff to give it a flavor. But you're not adding any sugar to it. All you're adding to it is the freshness of the veggies or fruits. So I tell my clients, if you don't drink water, start off with 64 ounces. I should have brought a water bottle out here. I have one in my bag. But if you drink 4 of the 16.9 ounce Zephyr Hills water bottles, those are the bottles that I drink every day. That's a little over 64 ounces, and that's a good start. And you move your way to half of your body weight in ounces of water per day. Now, most people can't get that. Some people do, but a lot can't. I mean, and there's some days I don't even hit the mark. But you know what? If I get in at least 6 to 8 bottles of water a day, I'm doing real good. My body
That's
is not sore. It's not tight. It's, I feel good. And also to add to that, now you got to incorporate some stretching with that. Because if you're not stretching, the muscles, because we're physical all day using our bodies, our muscles are not stretched out so that they can come back to the natural state after they're being used. So we have to incorporate stretching. And we can Google, is a lot of stretches out here, to help our bodies. And then the last piece of that is use ice over heat. Ice pack over a heating pad. An ice pack is our friend. Ice soothes the muscle and tissue. It causes the flow of blood to slow down in the body or to those particular areas, and it gives like a numbing effect to the area. So it helps to start the process of healing. Heat, on the other hand, it inflames the muscle and tissue and any nerve ending in the area. So especially if you're using a heating pad more than 3 to 5 minutes, using a heating pad for 15, 20, 30 minutes, an hour, or even sleeping on the heating pad is bad. And that's why a person will stay in pain. And these are things that I tell my clients every day. Every day I repeat this to people. Different clients, but on an everyday basis.
mm, mm. I got a small question for the soda again too. So, when you say the carbonation, like it hardens the muscles, would you say that your client would feel like a back spasm or a muscle spasm? Does it cause that?
I
Is that
don't know
how it
what it
feels?
I don't know what it causes with the client, because personally I've never asked. But when I touch a client, I can tell if a body is dehydrated or not. I can pretty much tell if you've been drinking a lot of sodas. If you a soda drinker, your body is rigid and hard. Those muscles are hard, and it is hard. That creates more work for me to soften the muscles. And,
Mm,
and what I tell people as well, just as long as it took you to get into that state of pain, it takes that time or longer to get out, because you got to do a lot of retraining to your body.
mm. Yeah, yeah, yeah. So and a lot of people don't want to understand the pain, no gain theory, meaning
Hmm.
that there when you heal yourself, there's also going to be pain to healing. So
Right.
meaning that when you go to like a lot of people be scared to go to a chiropractor to get the adjustments, but most people don't know that chiropractic it ties into massage because once you do
Hmm.
hand in hand, it relieves the body of the tension because one, it puts your bones and everything back in place, and then when you get to working with the with your hands with your massage, what it does also too is it relieves the muscles of them tensions from your bones and stuff being out of alignment. Most people don't know that because they
That's
just
true.
don't want to feel in pain. They don't
That's
want to be in the pain because they've
right.
been in
And
that align
and I
out
was
of
one of
alignment so
I was
long.
one of those people as well. Just to give you a little bit of extra background, I worked in a chiropractor's office for about 3, almost 4 years. So when I first started there, I was really leery about getting an adjustment because you can hear your bones move,
Oh yeah.
especially if it's in the neck. You you hear it right in your ears. So the first time I had an adjustment was I was having some back pain, and the chiropractor, he said, why don't you why don't you let me give you an adjustment? It'll help relieve the pain. And I was like, no, I'm not trying to do that. Because I'm not, I'm not trying to hear nothing move, and I don't want to be in extra pain because that's what I thought it was. But it was quite the opposite. The moment he adjusted my low back, it was like that pain disappeared instantly because we have spinal nerves that run up and down our spine. And when those spinal nerves become impinged, there goes the pain. And now, we have signals from our brain to like our legs to move. Like moving your finger, you don't do this just because you can. You do this because of an impulse. And it's a really quick impulse from the brain to whatever nerve endings are in here to move this, to blink your eyes. All of that is nerve related. So when he adjusted me, I was like, oh, wow. So then he said, well, you want me to, can I adjust your neck? And I was like, ooh, I don't really know if I want that. And so,
You
because you
watching
can,
too many
yeah,
movies.
because I would be in the treatment room with clients and they're getting that adjustment and I hear that neck snap like that and I'm like, oh, mm-mm. So I did. I let him adjust my neck, and I tell you, every week after that, every Friday, before I left that office, I got an adjustment. Over the weekends, I took a hot Epsom salt bath. And I would get massage, when we had other therapists there in the office. But I would do that, and it was a routine for me so that my body feels good. For me to even work on anybody else, I have to take care of me to work on other people. So chiropractic care, I would recommend it 100%. And I've had clients, that look like me. One lady said she did not want it. And I told her, I said, well, she needed it. And I told her, I said, well, I'll go in the treatment room with you. Matter of fact, I'll let him adjust me first. You can stand there and watch. And then I'll stay in there when he adjusts you. And once she got an adjustment, it was like you couldn't have told her
Couldn't
nothing
tell her
else.
nothing. I already
Nothing
knew. Couldn't tell her nothing.
else. Because she was like, I should have been doing this all along. But, when we don't know, we don't know.
You don't know what you don't know.
Exactly.
That's good. That's good stuff. This is good information for people that don't know how to take care of themselves when it comes to prior to massage and getting going to the chiropractor and nutrition and how you take care of your body. And I feel like it's a part of self care
It
when you
is.
get a massage. Especially if you got strenuous job, you're an athlete or you're a dancer, and you're just actively doing a
I'm
lot
gonna
of
tell you,
activities.
it massage is necessary because we are human beings and we live in a state of stress every day. Now our
Mm,
stress levels from person to person varies, but each and every day our bodies are stressed. We're stressed. Our feet are stressed the most because we're on them the most. This upper body is stressed a lot because we use this a lot. Our backs because we're bending and squatting down to pick up things and stuff like that. So from a child to an adult, massage therapy is a necessity. It's not a luxury. Years ago, it used to be looked upon as if a person going to get a massage, oh, that's like a luxury treatment. It's
mm,
not a luxury. That's a necessity. Our bodies need it. The power of touch is powerful. The power of touch can help a lot of people.
mm. That's deep. That's good stuff. That's good stuff that a lot of people need to know. And I'm glad that you're on here telling people about this information because a lot of people they think of massage, they like you said, they just think about luxury, but they don't think of it as an essential need of
Mhm,
self care. Because to my knowledge, correct me if I'm wrong, I know it relieves stress.
mhm,
Um, it it loosens the tension in the body. It also lowers your blood pressure if you have blood
mhm.
pressure problems. Correct?
Correct.
Okay. Just want to make
Because
sure I'm right.
your
Just
body is at a relaxed state, and when you're getting a massage, you're now I'm helping the body to release endorphins that causes relaxation.
mm,
And and it lowers the stress. It's like the happy hormones, and the hormones that help you with sleeping. You start to release, and massage therapy is good for people who have problems sleeping. A
Mm.
good neck treatment right in here and at the base of the skull can help somebody go to sleep very well. Because a lot of times when we're at a computer, like I have my laptop out here. So most times people are like this at their computer. See the
Mm.
shoulders? See if I'm sitting up straight? But if I'm at the computer, I'm like this. We get stuck. Once we're stuck there, it's hard to release from being stuck like that. Because now the muscles have memory. So muscles are going to go to what is comfortable for them. And if being like this is comfortable, and that's how your body is, that's how the body is going to stay. And that's why it's important that when you go get massage therapy, I wish all people had a therapist that explained things to them. For any client that I've ever had, you can attest to this, and plenty of all of my other clients, any person I've ever touched, I always give detailed explanations about what's going on with them and ways to help them. I don't just, like some people say, I don't rub bodies all day. That is not what I do. And in my opinion, like some people will say, oh, my masseuse. I'm not your masseuse. I am your massage therapist, a licensed one at that. I think masseuse rub on bodies. Licensed massage therapists help to relieve muscle pain and get muscles to where they're pliable, they're flexible. You're able to use them a lot easier.
Mm. Mm. That's good. That's good stuff. I'm telling you, I've learned so much about this topic just by this live by itself. I know we talked on Saturday for
Hmm.
like an hour after
After
that,
the
but this
after the
after
treatment
the fact.
session,
But this is even more
and,
prominent as
and you
well.
know for yourself, I encourage my clients to ask questions. No question is a dumb question. Ask questions because you never know if that person knows how to help you in whatever manner it is that you need to be helped. So I tell my clients during the treatment session, if you have questions, feel free to ask. Feel free to ask. And most everybody will ask me a question.
That's
Or if they're not asking me a question, I'm giving them some information. Because I think I would be honestly doing my clients a disservice if I did not give them information to help themselves.
mm, okay. I have two more
Hmm.
questions for you. So, how has social media impacted your business, like by you posting the tips and letting people know that you're a licensed therapist here out here in Tampa Bay? How has that impacted you in a positive way?
It has impacted me. Um, I'll say in a very good, because I've gotten some clients, from the time I started my Facebook business page, which my old page was Addison Massage Therapy, and then I transitioned into my new page because I rebranded everything, and it's fresh, new business cards, new name, and I think my name fits what I do, Divine Massage Therapy and Wellness, because my gift is from the divine, and I use it to help other people. And, from the logo and everything. So that has impacted me really good. I can say I have one person, and I don't know if he may be on this live, but he'll probably see it on my Facebook page because I'm sharing the live as we're talking. Um, his name is Wyatt Bogan. I post tips each and every day. And Wyatt has been paying attention because when I would talk with him, we would like talk to each other on Messenger, and he would be telling me the health issues and things that he was going through.
Right.
And today, where he is today, I told him I'm proud of him. And he thanks me all the time for putting the information out there. He said, because if it weren't for you putting it out there, I probably would not be where I am today. And so you know, it makes me feel good that I know more people are listening, and I know more people are doing, and I know that when I share stuff, people share it to their page and to the people that follow them. And so for me, if I touch one person, I have done my job as far as a therapist and as far as giving them the information that they need to know in order to take care of themselves via massage therapy or good nutrition. And like I said, I'm not a doctor, I'm not a nutritionist, but common sense comes into play. And a lot of times I have one of my friends of mine said common sense is not always common. But if we take the time to educate ourselves, we will be in a much better place as far as our health and wellness and life in general. We'll be in a much better place.
I agree. I mean, you only got one, like you said, you only have one body. Take care of it, maintenance it, keep yourself, eat healthy, keep yourself clean. This, take care of yourself because this is the only tool that you can get through this life. And most people just they treat their body as they gonna get another one, and they not gonna get another.
You know, I like to share something when we're talking about taking care of our bodies, right? I had a client some years ago, and he had some real issues with his circulation. And by the way, massage therapy does help with circulation issues, like circulation in your legs. So he was telling me that he went on a vacation, and because he couldn't get around and he had to be in a wheelchair, and I mean not to sound cold or callous or none of those things, but this is
Keep it
just
in a
me.
hundred. You keep it a
Um,
hundred on Thursday night with
yes,
pineapple. You keep it real.
I keep it real with all of my clients. So he was telling me that, on the cruise, that they went on excursion. The group of them were set to go on excursions, but he couldn't go because he was in a wheelchair, because he couldn't really walk because of the circulation issues. Now, mind you, he's not doing anything to take care of himself. You know what I'm saying? Um, Even asking me things went during the session, and I'm like, dude, get it together, because you can't be. If I'm telling you to drink water and you can put lemon in your water, don't ask me, can you add sugar to it? No, we don't do that. That's an inflammatory. You no longer have lemon water. You got lemonade full of sugar. But anyway,
Lemonade. Got
anyway,
lemonade. Got
he was
lemonade.
saying that the people was going on the excursion, but one person that was supposed to go on the excursion stayed back with him. And so I so nicely told him with all the love that I could, because my Aunt Claudia always used to tell me, try you speak to people with love, even if it's something bad, you speak to them, put a little love on it. And I said, that person is really good, because that could not have been me. I would not have let my money go to waste because you didn't take care of yourself. You understand what I'm saying? It's not about, I'm not being mean, but if you don't take care of you, why do you think somebody should feel obligated to sit with you because you can't go somewhere?
That's that's a good point. I always look at that when I'm traveling with people, I'm always looking if they're in peak physical condition for numbers reasons, just in case something happened and we gotta
Right.
lift something, we gotta get you something, just in case of any
Now,
type of
don't get
emergency.
me wrong. I know some people are sickly, but
Yeah,
if you are willfully not taking care of yourself, never expect somebody to come in and take care of you.
yep,
You're obligated to do that. And there's too many people out here that's doing it, and there's too many people that's falling for that little okey doke. That's what I would call it. Because I'm just not that person. You know, we all are trying. I'm trying to help people achieve the same thing, and that's being healthy through massage therapy. But when he told me that, I was just like blown away. I was like, That was a good person because it couldn't have been. And I told him so nicely, that couldn't have been me because I wouldn't have done that.
Yeah,
You might have done that shit by yourself. And
that
so, you know, but you have to look at those type of situations and things like that because you just can't be out here, you spending money on everything else, all this, like I was saying earlier, jewelry, clothes, cars, expensive vacations, and you sickly. How do you enjoy it when you sickly like that? When your body is physically hurting, how do you enjoy life? You can't. You're in a constant state of pain and you angry all the time because you in pain. That's a whole other
absolutely.
subject.
Look, I've seen people when I was traveling, like in my early 20s, right? I used to go on vacation all the time. I put it pause because I've been, doing stuff with my business. But it's funny when I used to see a lot of people, like people that wasn't taking care of themselves. Everybody at the pool, they got the foam. Everybody just lit, right? So you see that one person in a wheelchair just looking like this, just mad. I'm like they mad. I'm like, but the thing is, they probably either sickly or they wasn't taking care of themselves. But it looked like they wasn't taking care of themselves. And the crazy thing is, I've seen this at the Hilton when I was working at the Hilton in Daytona Beach. I used to see a lot of people with whole cartons of medication, and they in wheelchairs, they in walkers, they in scooters, and it's crazy how you're spending money on travel, leisure, and cruise boats, and you're not even taking care of your health. And the one thing about me, I don't want to have to worry about you on the back of my mind while I'm trying to relax and unwind and just to take a break from, the everyday stresses. And I'm worrying about you because you ain't taking care of you because I got to worry about because you got high blood pressure. Your blood pressure is 160 over 100. I got to worry about your sugar being at 500 plus because you ain't eating
Mhm.
a whole bunch of candy and things that you're not supposed to be eating. I gotta
And
worry
then,
about you because
and those are things that we are responsible for. As a person, you're responsible for your health. Now, when you have children, you're responsible for your children's health up until they get to be grown ups. And I've heard so many parents saying, "Oh, I can't get my kids to eat vegetables." Well, why not? Don't you cook? Who creates the menu? You do. When I was growing up, though, my mama would cook, and she would cook liver and squash and stuff like, and we didn't want to eat it. We'll sit right there to that table and not eat it, but I bet you, the next night it's on the table again, and it was on the table until we ate it or it went bad, one of the two. Because me and my brothers would find any reason not to eat. We wouldn't eat no squash. Wasn't nobody eat no liver. None of that stuff like that. We don't want that. But when it and uh, at one point I did start eating liver after I got older. But the thing is nowadays we have the control over our health, and so we have to exercise that control. We have to exercise that right to take care of ourselves, that right to have the proper health care, and by asking questions, it is your right as a person to question a doctor.
Mhm.
If you don't question them, something wrong with you.
I believe that. So yeah. So I got my last question for you.
Hmm.
So how do you think massages make models and designers better? How do you think that will help the industry of fashion?
When you wrote that question, I was looking at that question last night, and I looked at that question today as I was getting my oil change for my car. And I was like, how am I supposed to answer this question here? Because I really don't deal, in that realm there. But I came up with this. Models are on their feet all the time. They got to wear these 6-inch heels. Heels, by the way, are bad for women. I love them, but I can't wear them no more. Give me a nice tennis shoe and a nice sandal, and I'm good to go. But Heels are bad on your feet. They're bad on your calves, hamstrings, low back. They throw you out of balance, all of that stuff. But for
Mm.
models, massage would be good for their feet and their from the low body down, because when they're in heels and let's say they have a mishap, a misstep, and they kind of tumble over a little bit, that interrupts the natural posture of the body. You're already in heels, and that's kind of unnatural. But those areas still, the low back still needs work because they're constantly moving and on their feet a lot, and they're using that lower body so much. Upper body, not so much, but more of their lower body. So I would say, even at a fashion show, especially if it's going to be a long fashion show, in between, and it depends on how many models you have. Somewhere in there needs to be a therapist or somebody on site to help those people. Because I know their feet hurt. I know their backs are hurting. I know their legs are hurting. But more so, I know the feet are hurting. And when we talk about feet, your feet have a mapping on it. And that we go into reflexology when we're talking about this. Reflexology it shows a mapping of the body, and it's on the hands, feet, face, and ears. So on your feet, I have, and I have something to show you if it'll come up. I have one of these. It's like a massager for your feet. But if you look at it closely, it has these, and I'll show it to you the next time you come. But it has areas on here, like this area right here. That's for your kidneys. This area up here, liver. Right here, that little crease at the top of at the big toe, that's your neck. When I'm working on clients, this is in memory, but I work their feet in this manner to help relieve other things that's going on in the body. So you can be constipated, and I've had a client like that. And if you work this middle area, it's it's a area right in here. That's where the intestines and stuff is. If you
Yeah.
work that, it can help with your body. And I've had a client who that happened for some years ago. I'm gonna say probably well over about 10 or 15 years ago. I worked her feet, and she said the next day or later on that night, she was going to the restroom, and it was not diarrhea, but it was she was getting her body was regulating itself, and that's just simply working those pressure points on the feet. But the feet are very important. So I would say, for models, yes, their feet need to be worked. Anything lower body needs to be worked on.
Mm. That's good information. That's a great idea to have
And
at fashion
it's
shows.
for designers, because designers, like I have a cousin, she designs wedding gowns. So she's on her sewing machine a lot. So I'm sure she's all hunched over like this. For designers, you will focus on upper body, because hands, arms, shoulders, all the upper body, neck, all of that needs to be taken care of, because that's what they primarily use, because they're cutting material, they're pinning things, they're doing all kind of stuff, but they're using most of their upper body. So in that case, models, low body, lower body. I would do a full body massage on either one, but more focus on a model would be lower body, and more focus on a designer would be upper body, because of how they use their bodies. And so that's what I ask of my clients. I always find out, what type of work do you do? Because the type of work that they do tells me where to focus.
That's good. That's good. That's good. So yeah, that's all the questions I have for you. In closing, I just want to give everybody a testimony. of my experience with you, if you don't mind.
Okay, go ahead. Don't be too
Yeah,
cool.
so look, Miss T got me right, audience. Look, let me tell you something. It was very uncomfortable to get my when I first went to her. I was very tense, be doing a lot of stuff at my job. I do some part time work, full time work too. So my back and my neck was tense. As soon as I laid it out on the table, she already knew what the problem was. She knew how to diagnose the problem. She got right in. She focused on them areas diligently. She educated me as she was working on me. I almost fell asleep a few times. I couldn't fall asleep because she was just so detail oriented, and the experience was lovely. I want to say, I appreciate her because she keeps my back in alignment. She keeps my muscles loose and flexible. She's taught me a lot of things about my body that I didn't know, and she's also put me back in alignment because she can also tell if my hip is off, and she'll put my hip back in place too. So I mean, if you need to go get a massage, I would recommend her. I'm telling you, you're gonna get the information, you're gonna get tips, you're gonna get healed, you're gonna feel so much better. It's gonna be uncomfortable depending on what's going on with your personal situation, but you gotta look at it as an investment into your self care, an investment into your body, also an investment into just making sure your body gets back to where it's normal. Because sometimes you be tense so long, it's very uncomfortable to get it back to where it needs to be, and it's to a point where it's very exhilarating. It was fun, and I know one time my neck was very uncomfortable, but it was, hey, I had to get it loose. But and once she was done, I sat down for about 5 minutes, drank some water. My neck was loose. I could move back and forth, and it made it easier. It's easier for her too because of my body type, because I'm very flexible, so she can move my arms any way she needs to, stretch it out, and she makes sure she gives you a lot of different tips. And afterwards, she tells you what to do, how to do it, how often to do it, and she's very, very, very detail oriented about self care afterwards and what you need to do and how you should carry on your week. And she also is diligent about setting the next appointment, not just a one time thing. She's very diligent about reaching back out to our clients to make sure that they're taking care of themselves. And she will share tips and different things of that nature. And she also she's available. She's very responsive to her calls. She's very responsible to her texts. And if you have any questions, she's always happy to answer them. And that's all I really got to say. I'm just excited. I'm glad that I'm in partnership with you. I'm glad that you got my back right. I mean, you've made me feel special about my experience with you. And I do love the Tiger Bomb that you introduced me to, and me falling in love with ice. Because sometimes we avoid cold showers and ice. Come to find out, it's really our best friend, like you said.
Yes, it
Um,
is.
and I want
You
to
know,
just go ahead.
go ahead. Well,
No,
to end with what you're saying, as far as all of the things that you said, um, it's just to me again imperative that we just take care of ourselves. We only have this one body. Things that I do recommend. Another thing that I recommend for anybody to do: a hot Epsom salt bath. If you haven't taken one, try it. Make your water as hot as you can stand it. Put about 2 to 2.5 scoops of Epsom salt in. Sit and soak 20 to 25 minutes. After that, take a bath, towel dry, and I would do that about an hour or two before you go to bed because it'll help relax your muscles. It'll help soothe any sore muscles, and it helps your whole entire body to relax, and you'll get a good night's sleep. But I do want to attribute, when you say I give a lot of information, I will say this. If it had not been for my Aunt Claudia giving me the information over the years, not just in my massage therapy years, way prior to that, if it had not been for her giving me information, between her and my grandmother, her mother, I would not be able to give you all information. Because I'll tell you something she always told me to do. My auntie always said, when she told me about yarrow, and that's the herbal supplement for women for fight with fibroid issues. And if anybody have them, feel free to message me. I can give you a lot of information that will help you. But when she told me about that, the very next thing she said, go do your own research. Don't just take it. Don't just take what I say and run with it. Do your research so you know, because even taking herbal things, some affect people in a different manner than it affects other people. So you want to make sure, first off, I would say if you have a doctor, consult your doctor in regards to things like that. For me, I'm going to just do what I know I need to do for my body. And I do it in moderation. But had it not been for her wisdom, her guidance, her love, her understanding, just being my auntie, I would not be the person I am in massage therapy, and knowing what I know as far as herbs and all of this stuff, I wouldn't know any of this without her. So, she has gone on to be with the rest of my ancestors, who I have also found out were in the business of healing, midwives and such. And so I just I appreciate and I love the fact that that has been passed down through our lineage, and I can give it to people just like they gave it to the people who they worked on. My aunt was a Reiki master as well, so she did these things for people, energy work and such. And I'm just happy that I'm in a space where I can do the same for folks.
That's
And
good.
I appreciate each and every one of my clients. Each and every one of y'all, I appreciate. My future clients, my past clients, and my today clients. I appreciate you all because you all keep me on my toes. You all keep me learning new things. You all keep me wanting to learn new techniques and things like that. So the more I work with all of my clients, the better I become. The more I learn new techniques, the more I can use those techniques and things like that to help the people that I'm supposed to help while I'm here on this side of heaven, as they say.
Okay, that sounds good. Now, how does everybody find you on social media? For those who don't know, how do they get in contact with you?
Okay, on social media, you can find me on my personal page, Tawni A. Addison LMT. On my business page, Divine Massage Therapy and Wellness. Um, you can on my business page, there is my business card is there, and it has my phone number on it. You can text me, you can message me if I'm up, and and Terrence can tell you, it has been late nights. He might text me and say, "Hey, can I get in? I need to make an appointment," and it might be 1 or 2 in the morning. If I'm up, I'm gonna respond because I feel like that's the right thing to do. That's how you keep your clientele. If you're up, for me as an entrepreneur, I work 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 or 66 days a year. There's no days off as an entrepreneur unless you take them off. So I try to be there for my clients, potential and present clients, as much as I can. On Instagram, and I really have to take the time to build my Instagram business page because I don't have one of those. Facebook keeps me so busy, so I don't really do a lot on Instagram. But on my Instagram personal page is Tampa Massage Therapist. Now, from time to time, you'll see me sharing some reels on there, some stories, things about health and wellness. I'll share them on my stories. Um, But I really need to sit and take the time to get that Instagram business page together.
Yep, that sounds good. That sounds good. That's going to conclude our Facebook Live. I greatly appreciate your time. It's been a very informative session. I
Oh,
hope all of
that's not
you
a
gotten
problem at all.
some. Oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah. You know, I'm already on the calendar for next week. Get the back worked on. I'm
Hmm.
telling you, man, she gonna work mothers on you. I'm telling you, this last Saturday after I came from my house, man, I was asleep for the rest of the day. I ain't go nowhere. I couldn't get out. I couldn't get up. I couldn't get up. Body said, "Nah, can't." You say I had plans. No,
And
you
you
don't.
and you know it's like that. It's like that because our bodies tell us when to sit down. Most times we don't listen until that body just crash and now you have no choice. So when you get massage, or you're exercising or whatever it is you're doing, make sure you take the time to rest in between because the body does need that rest.
Yes,
So, but
you
I, I,
heard it.
I appreciate it's just an honor to be able to give this information to people. Um, and I appreciate you for asking me, would I come on this live? So I appreciate that.
No, this is all we do. We got to grow each other's business. It's cooperative economics.
And
We gonna cooperate
absolutely,
with each other. Absolutely. You
absolutely.
know. All right, audience, everybody, you take care. We appreciate your time. Thank you, Miss T, for getting us right with your information. I believe everybody in the comments are loving your live and your information. You dropped some nuggets tonight, and I'm gonna look forward to bringing you on again in a few weeks. We're gonna do it again. I'll let you
And
know. I'll bring some other people on.
that's not a problem. I'm always
All
available.
all right, y'all be blessed. Have a blessed night. You take care. No
Good night,
more. No.
everybody.
Good night, everybody. No ginger ale for you.